The year is 2593. Not much further in the future from the making of this video as the voyage of Christopher Columbus is in the past. A young student is sitting down for their economics class. The professor starts the lecture by telling them all about how rich they are compared to the people of the past. Starting salaries in this time are 5 times greater than the whole net worth of the wealthiest people alive in the 21st century. To us, these future people are all trillionaires. Is a world like this possible? The fundamental economic problem is one of scarcity. The reason we care about economic growth is because it allows us to stretch our scarce resources further. The kind of innovation that fuels economic growth is that which reduces how many resources we need to produce something. The popular science fiction show Star Trek envisions a future in which the problem of resource scarcity has been solved. The show focuses on the pioneers of space travel, but the real heroes are the unnamed geniuses that figured out how to generate so much energy from some invented material the characters refer to as dilithium, and then how to convert that energy into matter using the so-called replicator. Warp speed is cool, but having a machine that just zaps a hot cup of tea, Earl Grey of course, into existence is amazing. The capacity of the Star Trek economy is limited only by the amount of energy they can produce. And since they don't seem to be too worried about energy, we can see how they are living in a post-scarcity economy. While this future sounds pretty great to me, many worry about an economy which is able to automate every task. What would humans do once technology can do all our work for us? One contemporary example is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is entirely free, and while they need donations to keep their servers online, they don't pay anyone to write the information-rich articles that we all turn to when we want to learn about something. Many thousands of people have given up hours and hours of their time and labor to write these articles for no compensation at all. Some of them spend more time writing Wikipedia articles than they do at their job. Why do it? Well, it makes them happy. They like the community of editors they get to interact with, and they enjoy the process of content creation. And on some level, these creators get a bit of prestige in having contributed significantly to something we all rely on. Most anxiety people have about robots taking our jobs is misplaced. It's usually a good thing, since we're able to redirect the energies of our labor towards something else, expanding our production possibilities frontier and growing the economy. But a common claim is that the coming technology is different, and soon robots really will be taking over every job. If artificial intelligence is able to replace lawyers and writers and computer programmers, then what jobs will be left? A lot of this is just hype. As with the technology that came before it, artificial intelligence will likely just make human beings more productive, allowing us to earn more money for the work that we do. But many are worried about the point at which artificial intelligence is able to match human intelligence. This is often referred to as artificial general intelligence, or AGI. If the artificial intelligence is able to understand or learn any intellectual task as well as a human, then there won't be any reason to hire an unreliable human instead of a highly reliable robot. AGI is definitely something we should be worried about, but the problem isn't that they will take all our jobs. That would be the benefit of AGI. Humans would become like retirees today, living off the production of the robots and enjoying our lives. The problem with AGI is that it will very soon thereafter be smarter and more capable than us, because it will be able to rapidly improve on itself. If we ever are successful at creating AGI, we better hope the makers have figured out how to make sure that AGI's goals align with the goal of human flourishing, rather than it becoming purely self-interested and giving us the boot. Many people who are working on artificial intelligence have started to advocate for a policy called universal basic income. The proposal is that the government would put a tax on the economic gains that come from AI-driven innovations, and then redistribute that to everyone equally. Essentially, it's like everyone owns a little piece of the automated economy, and we all earn a little dividend income on the side from it. Advocates say this will alleviate the problems caused by creative destruction by giving people some money to fall back on if they lose their job to innovation. It also gives people a foundation to live on, which will make people more comfortable with taking a risk and trying something new. And given the results of the stimulus checks sent to people during the COVID-19 pandemic, we can pretty safely say that it will help reduce poverty as well. But not everyone is on board. Having this income on the side might incentivize joblessness and drag the economy down. Many also don't like the universal part of the program, which recommends that everyone, whether rich or poor, in need or not, gets the money. And there's also something to be said for the dignity of work. Most people derive some life satisfaction out of a good day's work. And we have seen with social media and other modern contrivances that sometimes we don't always do what is best for ourselves when we aren't given a push. One thing we know for sure, though, is that good institutions are essential for economic growth. And our economy evolves, and so our institutions need to evolve with it in order to continue to incentivize innovation and ensure that everyone is able to share in the fruits of growth. Kenneth Boulding remarked, "Anyone who believes that exponential growth can go on forever in a finite world is either a madman or an economist." Eternal economic growth is indeed a fairy tale. But that doesn't mean we're anywhere close to the limit now. Popular science fiction has already imagined a future where we are able to enter realistic simulations, allowing more digital creations to satisfy many of our needs and wants. Within these digital environments, the physical limits of our Earth might not be as constraining. But ultimately, eternal growth is not the goal. Eternal enrichment is the goal. Our desire for economic growth stems from the fundamental economic problem of scarcity. We have finite resources, and so we must choose how to use them. Economic growth is about innovating ways to make those resources go further. But eventually, innovation might solve the problem of scarcity altogether, or at least get us close enough to it that no one can tell the difference. Beyond that, innovation will still be able to find new ways to enrich our mind and our spirit. So long as we don't kill each other first through war or disease, I think humans stand a good chance at achieving this sort of post-scarcity world. But I'm confident that an end to scarcity will not mean an end to innovation. The goal of our economy is to satisfy us by producing the things people actually need and want. Great experiences, social relationships, and meaningful challenges will always be part of that. And there will always be new ways for humans to enrich themselves virtuously with courage, justice, temperance, prudence, faith, hope, and love.